Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kaleidoscope of the Arts. You're listening to WKDW 97.5 FM, real community radio coming out of Northport, Florida. And you can always listen to us on your smart speaker by saying, Alexa, or whatever you call her, Alexa, play WKDW 97.5 FM. And we will pop on. Yes, you don't have to leave your house. You don't have to have a radio. All you need is your little smart speaker, and you can listen to us, or you can listen to us on broadband right now. And our FM is down, and we'll be talking about that during this show, why it's down and everything about that. But we'd like to thank the Bishop West people, real estate, for actually sponsoring the tower before. Mm-hmm. So Dee Dee.
Hey,
we didn't introduce ourselves. I'm Marie LaBrosse, one of your show hosts, and
I'm Dee Dee Gozion. Thank you. How you doing today, Marie?
I am doing actually really good. And you know why?
Why is that, Marie?
Because I get to see your beautiful face.
It's been a long time since we've done a show. Couple weeks.
It has been, and during this period of time, I did lose my mother. That's one of the reasons we've been off air, and we'll talk about different things. And she was 95 years old. She had caught COVID in 2020, never recovered fully from it. Had to go into a nursing home, and I know that who's going to be joining us right now has lost somebody dear to her too because of COVID. So it's a serious illness, still is for a lot of people. And a lot of us have lost people that are close to us, or the quality of life of people that we know that have caught it.
You're right.
It has gone down. So Dee Dee, enough with the drama here. And talking about, death, because nobody gets out alive. Let's talk about what is important to us here at our radio show. It's our sponsor, right?
Absolutely. If it wasn't for a sponsor, we wouldn't even have a show.
And who's our sponsor?
Our sponsor is the lovely Wendy Namack from Namack Portfolio
Investments LLC. And if those of you that are watching on the internet, because we are streaming Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter Live. So in case you're listening on the radio and you want to actually see people's faces behind the scene that are actually doing these shows, you can always go and check out our Facebook or YouTube or Twitter's feed. And let's have Wendy tell us a little bit about herself, because lucky for you, we have Wendy with us today. And Wendy used to be a radio show host in college, so she can tell us about that.
Hi, Wendy.
Good morning, almost afternoon. That was a very long time ago, back in the 70s. I was a progressive rock disc jockey in Gainesville, Florida, and was #1 rated in my ARB daytime morning drive show. So that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it tremendously. But what I realized at that point, not to be, money hungry or anything, but the only people who made any money in radio at that time were the station owners. So I decided I needed to go out and find something else to do, and went from several things. I ended up being at the University of Florida. I became the assistant director for the Florida Foundation for Future Scientists, and we did programs for high ability pre-college students. So if you know anybody who's ever done a science fair in the state of Florida, that was because of us. And we have a regional and a statewide group, and it was really a lot of fun. I did that for 13 years. And then moved down to St. Pete and did a year at the Department of Environmental Protection's Marine Research Institute and helped them with their grants program. And then did a little bit of marketing in Sun City Center for Freedom Plaza in a retirement community. And just at that point of time, I really did not do funerals well. And so I decided it was time to find something else to do. and went to got into the financial advising business way back then, 1996, I think. And so I've had more than a quarter century helping people and doing this. So I really do enjoy it. And one of the things that gives me a great deal of pleasure is being in a position to be able to give back to the community. And the arts and the radio station are two of my very important things. And I do some other local sponsorships as well, mostly environmental. And I'm getting, I'm coming out of the COVID hideout because it was very frightening to me. I lost my brother. He was 56 years old. He had COVID for 4 days. It was, quote unquote, just a head cold until it wasn't. And he was transported to the emergency care center, walk-in clinic, and they couldn't handle him. So they took him by ambulance to the hospital, and he died literally a couple hours after that. So it was very, very sudden, very, very virulent. And he was about 6'5", about 270. A chef, was on his feet, was healthy. And he caught it from somebody in the kitchen who had visited his grandmother and didn't know it. And that's, the way it happened. So I've been hiding out, I'll admit it, for the last couple of years because I couldn't expose myself to that risk. And finally in May decided to go ahead and start going to conferences again. Went to a retirement plan conference in Austin, Texas, and I came back and got COVID. So thank goodness Paxlovid is a miracle drug. It's a heavy duty chemical. I was in La La Land for 10 days. I'm still finding out I had conversations I have no recollection of. It's good that they were all good, but that was good. But even though I did not have a really bad case because the medicine helped me, I still have, it's very hard for me to reach around the cobwebs in my brain and find that thought still. So that's coming back, but I do feel better. Actually, I've been feeling better for the last couple of weeks than I have in probably 3 years. So wow. I feel more like myself, and it's a good time. We're getting over, I think, the major hump of this pandemic, and hopefully we won't have anything else. I think we've all learned a lot. I just wish there was better tolerance of something. But there's a snowstorm, Marie.
I should have went off screen when I did that. I'm trying to get my picture better.
Okay. Well, so that's where we are, and I've been feeling fine and better. I'm still a little out of breath because I have some conditions that made me very susceptible to it, hence the being careful. And I've had all my boosters and all my shots. I just got my flu shot last week. I will be coming back and getting the new COVID booster as soon as it's available in the area. And I do encourage anybody who feels that they can do that to get it. It's not going to hurt you. And if you haven't gotten all your other vaccines up to date, I strongly recommend that too, especially Shingrix for the shingles, because shingles at my age or our age, because we're all approximately in that same category, it's really painful. So we want to avoid that. Okay. Yeah. So that's my health and wellness, insert for today. Just take care of yourself.
Yes, really. It's important.
Wendy, have you ever had shingles?
No, I had really bad chicken pox when I was a kid. And a couple of years ago, when Shingrix, the new one, finally came out, I was just about to go and start the other one because you had to do that one in 2 batches too. And my cousin posted something about because she was working at a hospital at that point doing development for them. And she said, oh, they've got the new Shingrix and it's 95 or 97% effective. And I thought, okay, good, I'll go for that. So that's what I did. And you take it and then you get your first shot and then you go 2 months later and you get your second shot. And if it's not covered by insurance, it's not cheap, but it's better than having nerve damage. And I had one client who almost lost her eyesight to it. I had another who had lung issues and it had settled around his chest, so breathing became extraordinarily difficult and painful while he had it. So I just think that's really but there's a whole slew of things. I didn't realize, when I was getting one of them, they said, "Hey, you haven't had a tetanus shot. When was your last tetanus shot?" And I'm like, 2005. Well, so I had to have that too. So there's a whole list of things. I even got the stuff. I can go to almost any foreign country except Africa, anything in Africa, because I've gotten all of the other Hep A, B, C combos and tetanus and all that stuff. So it's I feel protected. Whether or not that's a veil, I don't know, but I feel better about it. So
Dee Dee, have you ever had shingles?
No.
I
My
have.
dogs
I
love it.
have.
it
I
sucks.
have. It was, I did not know what was going on, and painful. It's painful. So let's talk about actually art. Yeah, we'll humor our audience by talking about why we're here. To talk about art. Now, when we were talking earlier, I was talking about the radio station. In case many of you don't know, our radio tower was hit by lightning. And because of the way insurance works, because the inside part was covered by insurance, but the outside was not. And we had about $20,000 worth of damage that's not covered. So we are having fundraisers to help supplement that. But before I go on to that, there's been a lot of people within the community and around that have been donating money. And I want to do a special shout out to Sherry Dennis, who actually swooped in, asked us how much we were short, and she wrote a check for that. And I want to do a special shout out to her, because I did not know what a great friend she is. Not that I didn't know that she was a friend, but how much she has in her heart. And if, in case anybody sees her out in the community, say thank you from us, because it made the difference of us getting equipment and being able to do that. And I'm going to give you a timeline right now. In fact, if you guys can see, this is Sherry. Maybe I can show it on there. That's Sherry with me the other night. Yeah. And it takes a village for putting stuff together, but this is what's going on at the radio station. RJ, who's the station manager, the equipment's been ordered and the transmitter is due late next week. Electrician's due on Monday for a 220 outlet install that we need, because everything got fried, people. So maybe 10 days. And then the tower is complete, but just needs a hookup for the transmitter. And we need a winch to replace the hand crank. Believe it or not, all this stuff got fried by a lightning strike. And I know that they purchased a product that'll keep, it's supposed to be almost 100% effective, that will keep that tower from being struck by lightning again. There's a product out there that they weren't aware of that should have that they can have on the tower now. So hopefully this will never happen again. And for the tower to be covered, it had to have an addendum on the insurance for a lightning strike, because of it's just crazy. Everybody knows how insurance is, right, Wendy?
Oh yes, it can be very challenging. But yeah, I was talking to RJ at a chamber function, I think last week, and he told me that they were working on that. And we're in the lightning capital of America, if not the world. We have a trough that runs along the west coast of Florida, between about Fort Myers and northward up to about Homosassa, and there are more recorded lightning strikes in this area regularly. Now, granted, the stuff that's going on all over the country right now is not normal, but we have this ongoing situation. So I'm delighted to know that we're doing that. And I did donate, and I even forwarded your Facebook fundraiser, Marie, to help with that. And I will get some tickets for the show.
And I'll talk about that right now. We are, with the help of many performers and comedians and all types of performers, and because of the Military Heritage Museum, also at the Gulf Theater. And if you've never been there, I'll bring up a picture of that on the screen here. We are having a fundraiser Saturday, October 8th. 5 to 6 is a social hour, and then from 6 to 8:30. And I know it's a long time, but we're filling in different acts. It might end up being a little bit shorter with an intermission, but we're going to be having a fundraiser at the Military Heritage Museum at 900 West Marion Avenue in Punta Gorda. If you've never been to the Military Heritage Museum, it is a beautiful, wonderful place, right, Dee Dee?
It is. Oh my gosh. And the theater is amazing that you'll be having this in too. But the actual tour to go through the Military Heritage Museum was phenomenal. The things that they have and the stories to tell, everybody would love to do that tour.
Well, and I can tell you a few of the acts that we're going to be having there. We have a ventriloquist. Wow. Yeah. And where do you get an opportunity to see that? Artists from the Songwriters Island group, and they're literally award-winning songwriters that go to Nashville and around the country. Common Grounds musicians, Rockbox will be there. The Kumpfenbergs are going to be there. There'll be stage act comedians. Gib Pool will be there along with other comedians, and there'll be music and dancing. I'm working with dance studios right now to get some dancing acts. But with this being said, I'm getting people coming to us saying we would like to help and we would like to perform. And, we're talking about the arts here. A lot of times, these people donate their time and give it. And some of these people do this for a living. That is how they earn a living. So for them to step up and say, we want to help. And there was a fundraiser just recently at the Old World Restaurant that comedians got together and did a comedy thing. But let me tell you, the acoustics in this theater are so much better than doing it at a restaurant. This is a theater that we will be at.
Wow.
And if you see, there's the grand piano. It'll hold 248 people. No bad seat in the house. The acoustics are really good in there, and the lighting is really good. So for anybody that has any doubt about going and, having to hear glasses tinkling and different things, this is not what you're going to be doing. From 5 to 6 is a social hour outside, but after that, we'll all be in the theater. And they're doing it on a Saturday. And the Gulf Theater and the Military Heritage Museum are working with us because we help them out, so they're helping us out. So I just want to do a great big shout out to everybody. Thank you. So and the tickets are $35, and best yet is to buy your tickets. You go to the gulftheater.org. They're handling all the ticket sales, and they won't be up for sale till probably Wednesday or Thursday. We're still in the process of getting everything together. But
you're going to send out another email to let everybody know, aren't you, Marie?
Yeah, I'll be sending out an email. I'm getting a hold of everybody that I can possibly, and the Military Heritage Museum has over 4,000 subscribers to stuff, so they're sending out stuff and helping us promote stuff. So, the radio station doesn't have a lot of resources for doing some of these things, and with the help of organizations, even the Northport Arts Center has the ability to do things more than the radio station, because we're an all-volunteer radio station. In case anybody doesn't know that, we're a 501c3. Dee Dee and I do not get paid for this. So that's why her phone rings. in the middle of this. Okay, enough with this being said. Buy your tickets, gulftheater.org, but they're not going to be available till Wednesday or Thursday. And also, if you go to our WKDW 97.5 Facebook page or Making a Difference, and hopefully on our website, KDW Radio, you'll be able to find the different acts. As they're coming in, we'll get pictures of them and put up a little bio about them on those pages and that, because right now we're still trying to firm up everybody that's going to be performing. Yes, Wendy.
Well, I was going to ask if you had thought about inviting some of the high school students who are in the music and arts programs there.
We're having it in Punta Gorda, so there's a little mix going on here. I have the contacts and have reached out to stuff. Rockbox is bringing, I think, a rock band.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it'll be all sorts of eclectic things going on. I was trying to get Bud to perform, and he sent me, and in case people don't know, Bud Buckley is the MC all the time for any of the performances that are held at Common Ground, and that's how we actually raise money all the time to keep the radio station going, because people think of us, Wendy, people think of our radio station as the iHearts or, those people of the world, and we're under restrictions. We cannot go after advertising. Like if you got a sale going on, we can't do that. We're under restriction. We can talk about your business, but we can't say what seriously. We're under a fine guideline, so we depend on support, and we try to be self-sufficient, but a lot of times that doesn't work in our world. Okay, let's talk about the Art Center now.
Oh, sure.
Oh, and I want to mention open mic. They start open mic tomorrow night, 6:30 to sign up at 12735 Tamiami Trail, Northport at Common Grounds. Open mic starts at 7, and they stream it live like we're doing right now. Plus, it airs on the radio live at that time, too. So in case you want to get any kind of exposure, open mic would be the perfect place if you want to hone your skills, Wendy. Do you have any skills that you wanted to do, like comedy?
I'm not that funny.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm a little too serious sometimes. So
I know Marie's great at poetry.
Well,
there, Marie.
Yeah, they do poetry. I know that some of the people from Writers on the Air have performed at it. I think that poetry, seeing as we're talking about this, I think that when somebody reads their poetry, they should put emotion in it. Like the lady the young girl, Amanda, I think her name was, that did it for Biden's inauguration. I think that having that impact, because poetry isn't a form of art, but it can be a performing art when you're talking about it and get it emotional to the people. And that's and images through your mind when you're doing the descriptive words. Correct, Wendy? When
yes.
You use descriptive words and you can put the emotion into it. Actually, Halloween or the fall is my favorite time of year, and I can do a really good witch, but I got to take my mic a little bit far. So, yes.
That is a really good one.
Well, I know that the Art Center they have the writers that come in and write poems for some of the artwork that's on display during the receptions, and that's always very well received there as well. So
yes.
Yeah, we have a lot of talented people in this town, and we're getting more and more every day.
It's true.
Well, and tonight's and I know this airs on Wednesday on the radio, but tonight is Tuesday, and if you go to Common Grounds at 5:30, they have sign up, and at 6 to 7 they record Writers on the Air, anybody that's a writer, you don't have to be a published person. If if you just jot things down and for your own enjoyment, if you would like to ever read it out loud on air, you can go sign up there. Just show up at Common Grounds. They have a board up and you sign up on, and they'll give you time to read some of your literature. And I think it's 3 to 5 minutes that you get each time. And they try to do 2 rounds of it. So, there's a lot of opportunity. And I don't know how many people really know that if you do have some sort of art, and even Dee Dee, with the veterans at the Art Center, there's a free program there that Philip Moore has put together for veterans to be able to do art. So
yeah, we'll talk about it whenever we go through the newsletter.
you may
about the next free classes coming up.
Well, gee, yeah, that was my lead, and she says, "Marie, get to the art." Okay, let's talk about the newsletter, and you're going to hold up in your hand, but I'm going to bring up on the screen the one that she's holding up in her hand. Dee Dee,
yes.
How do people sign up to get this art newsletter?
It is so easy. If you go on our website, northportartcenter.org, O-R-G, there is at the bottom of a lot of the pages, sign up for our email. And whenever you sign up for our email, you automatically get this newsletter in a digital form. And then we also print this newsletter in a hard copy form that we distribute throughout the city. Now, our funds are very limited. We don't have thousands of dollars to print these, but we share them with the Art Advisory Board. We share them with the city, other places that we have art in our remote galleries. These are available in a hard copy form, but everybody can have it on a digital form. Just sign up and we'll send it to your email box every month.
Well, we must need to get some more advertisers so that you can have a broader distribution of that, huh?
That's really great, Wendy. Yes, we just started having advertisers so we can print these out, because we found that once they're printed, people actually respond better to the information that's in there, something that they could take home, and we just ask that they share it around after they read it. So it's beautifully done. Michelle Moore and I put it together every month, and it's actually really fun to do. We have a program called Canva that we put it together in, and it's easy, and any organization that's interested in creating a newsletter, also similar, call the Art Center and we'd be happy to help you.
Well, we will go through this. And Dee Dee, do you want to say anything about the front page?
Okay, there's an interesting story. I loved this artwork. It was hanging in my office. It was donated by one of our artists, Angela Letry. And it was hanging right where I could look at it every day. And I said, our theme this month was true colors, and it's so colorful. I said, let's put this artwork on the cover. So we took this picture, and it went out into the community. And it just so happens that the artist's nephew, who lives somewhere else, saw it, and he talked to Angela, and he said, "Hey, I'd love to have that art piece." So I had to give it up.
Oh no!
But I have it on here now. But it's no longer hanging in my office. I said, "Oh well, I shared it with the world. The world wanted it." So yes, that's Angela Lettery. That was a workshop she did with Raven Sky McDonough. Raven Sky does collage workshops, and there's other people in the area that do collage workshops, and it's an example of collage art. It's just papers that are assembled to make an image. So I think it's beautiful. It's very well done, and so that was put on the cover.
Okay, and
this is the big news that's coming up this Friday. So if you're available on Friday, September 16th, please have a stop at the Art Center. We have 3 different events going on. We have a ribbon cutting from 4 to 5. Cross my fingers that our weather is nice 4 to 5. If not, it'll be in the inside. But we have a mural on the outside of our building that has just been finished. And artist Laura Pucci will be here. And we were so fortunate to have People for Trees and Alice White and her organization came in and planted a matching garden, a butterfly, natural Florida plant garden in the front of our building that is just flourishing. It's beautiful, and it's attracting butterflies, and it's really nice. So we are inviting the public in. We're going to have the organizations that helped put the garden together and the artist for ribbon cutting with the chamber. There will be some food and drink, and just meeting everybody and getting to know a little bit about that particular part of the city. Plus, Visit Sarasota did contact us, and they're going to come and they're going to have it in part of Visit Sarasota. So it'll be a mural on their tour of murals. We then, between 5 and 6:30, are having an open house. Our open house, both buildings will be open. All of our instructors will have tables and doing demonstrations and talking about what they do at the art center and what kind of art they do, what medium they work in. And if you're interested in signing up for a class, we'll have little forms to fill out. Plus, each artist will be giving out either a work of art or a seat in their class. So we'll have some raffles going on also. And then at 6:30, you spoke of the Poets Workshop. The Northport Poet Workshop come in every gallery show, pick out a piece of art that's hanging that inspires them, and they write a piece of poetry. So we'll be having some poetry readings, and I have to tell you, they're getting better and better and better every month. They had some really fun poetry readings last month that keeps us laughing or keeps us enthralled. They're wonderful. And then we'll have Michelle Lamont, who is from Nellie's Note Cards, and she's formerly the president of the Venice Art Center. She came in and did our judging, so she'll be having ribbons and awards for the artists of the show, and that will be between 6:30 and 7:30. And if you'll notice, there's somebody playing the sax on the cover here, Carl Letry, which is Angela's husband, the artist that did the cover. Angela, her husband Carl, is a musician, and he's coming in, he's playing the saxophone for music in the background, so it should be lovely. So I hope everybody that's available can come. It's always free at the Art Center. All of our receptions are. So
you know, it would be cool sometimes to maybe ask some of the writers to come on one of these shows and read their poetry alongside a copy of the picture.
That would be lovely. Yeah, we can do that. That would be great. Yes. So inside our newsletter, we also have the schedule of events, and then I have every date of the month that if we have something going on that you're invited or inclined to go to. So the schedule of events are there every month. And there'll be more information later on in the newsletter, but we had the reception at Welland Park just this last Saturday. It was lovely. The Kumpfenbergs were there playing music. We had food and wine, and we honored artists Barbara Archer Baldwin, John Baldwin, and Jenny Hott was on the cart with her. Hott's Pots. She's a potter. And then the 21st, we're having a fundraiser at Vasani's Comedy. If anybody's interested in going that evening, the tickets are $10. The only requirement for Vasanti's is that you purchase 2 things, whether it be drinks or appetizers or dinner. And all the proceeds from the ticket sales go to the Northport Art Center. We have 30 tickets to sell. So anybody interested, please call the Art Center for more information. We have a mosaic workshop coming up on September 24th. And then we also have a junk journal workshop coming up on October 1st. So when we get in there, there's going to be more things coming up too. So this is talking about our remote galleries, and Welland Park is one of the galleries that we have. And it is at the Welcome Center off of Mikado Avenue or Mikado Drive in Northport at the Welcome Center. And right now we change out art every quarter. So right now John Baldwin is in the wall of the Welcome Center, the Louis restaurant, which is cafe, which is right beside his Barbara Archer Baldwin's walls. And then there's a cart, and that's where Jenny Hott is on. So we also have other ones. This newsletter also, every month, our president, Karen Fosterio, puts a letter in. And so it's got information about the Art Center. This particular letter, she is letting people know about the value of art in your community. And it's a nice read. And Karen does a good job in writing letters. So we have that letter there. And then the next page is Meet the Board. It's Victor Gartner just joined our board. And Victor was on our radio show maybe about a month ago. Victor also has a radio podcast that he does. It's called where we talk art, and it's on Partnership for the Arts group out of the Punta Gorda Art Center, the VAC. He does it out of the library, and he has a lot of the artists that are here at the Art Center have been doing his podcast too. So there's a link also, if you see on the actual picture of him at the radio station, there's a little link that you can scan, and it'll take you to the previous shows that he's done, and you can watch them. Michelle Moore's been on there, Barry Thorne's been on there, a lot of artists that we all know have done a podcast. So if you want to, as a matter of fact, I was listening to it, I had it on the background while I was working, and some of them are pretty informative and pretty fun. He has a lot of really fun guests on. So that's Victor Gardner, our new board member. Every month we hide Pierre Palette in somewhere in the newsletter, and we give away a prize. The first person that finds them, so that's fun. And then here we have Writers on the Air. Writers on the Air put an ad in, so there's a little information about them. We were talking about them. And there's another little ad for the podcast again. This is an article written by Claire Harvey, Art for All. Everyone should have access to good art programs. That is an excellent article Claire shared with us. If you don't mind, Marie, do I have a couple minutes, and I'll just read that one because I think it's nice to share. It's not long. It says the Northport Art Center defines itself as a community art center serving everyone by offering opportunities to learn, create, and enjoy art to the healthy benefit of all. Making art allows us time to meditate and reflect. It brings us joy, offers social connection, values creation over consumerism, makes us better problem solvers, and gives us a sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. Participating in the creative processes leaves people feeling happier, less anxious, more resilient, and more self-confident. Studies have shown that creative expression helps maintain our immune systems, and that art is clinically proven to reduce stress, elevate mood, lower blood pressure. In fact, research also shows that patients who are exposed to art during a hospital stay actually heal quicker and have a better overall experience. Actually, science has shown that viewing art can actually cause you to experience the same physical reactions we all get when we fall in love. The brains of volunteers that were scanned were viewing works of art they found beautiful, and it triggered an immediate release of dopamine to their brain, chemical-related feelings of love, pleasure, and desire. Every one of us are born with the need to express ourselves, to be heard, to be seen. While art can also help us better understand each other, art gives us a universal language, creating a healthier community, not only in terms of our mental health, but our physical health as well. Such a well-written article by Claire Harvey, who's our youth director here at the Art Center. And then
excellent.
Yes. And then we have information about the ribbon cutting. It's Northport Native Flora mural. So it talks about the group of artists that actually painted it. Laura Pucci designed this project, and not only for her artistic work, but to also involve the high school students and the junior high students that were interested in coming along and volunteering and experience to paint a mural. Not too often kids can get a chance to do that. So it became a community project. And then there's also a story of how Alice White heard about the project and in turn was inspired to create a pollinator art garden in the front of the art center. So there's the story. And then on the next page, we have some links that you can use your phone and scan and find out more about Florida Friendly Gardening through the People for Trees, the Florida Native Plant Society, and the Coastal and Heartland National Estuary Partnership. And there's Laura and some pictures of her art and a little story. Now, this is the Veterans Pen and Ink Workshop. This actually already occurred, so it's a little recap, but this was one of the Veterans Art programs. And in the top, it has all the veterans that attended and pictures of their work of art. Actually, Rick Johnstone, his right there, he won the actual original piece of artwork that they were working together on. So he was one of the veterans at that one. There he is now. So the next page, we talk a little bit about art radio, the Kaleidoscope of the Arts, and then underneath it talks about the next free art class. So anybody that's interested, that's a veteran, it's 100% free. It's going to be a wood carving workshop with Harry Mancha. And actually, I would like to have Harry come on before this because he does free veterans wood carving classes all over the community in Punta Gorda and Venice. So I'd like to have him come and talk about why he does that. And that's on Saturday, November 12th from 2 to 5. And anybody that's a veteran is welcome to come. And it's a free class. All the supplies, everything's included. And Harry hopes that enough people are interested that he can continue to do free classes on a regular basis for that. And then the next one is The Art of War is now at Northport City Hall. This exhibition celebrates our art collective program of art in public places. And we will be having a reception on Thursday, October 6th at 5:30. This event is free and open to the public. So Sergeant Philip S. Moore shares his journey of the healing power of art through 18 soft pastel paintings from his time overseas. So these paintings are also available to purchase in the calendar. He has a new 2023 calendar coming up. So please, the actual exhibit runs to October 28th at City Hall. It's the first floor of City Hall. If you can't come to the reception, please just come and look at the art. There's little stories with each piece about what is actually happening. The original photograph that he had took while he was overseas, the painting he created from it, and the story behind the photograph. So it's a fascinating and wonderful thing. Then this is the gallery that we have hanging up right now, The True Colors by Cyndi Lauper. We have 70 paintings hanging up by 36 different artists, and it'll be running through till October, the beginning of October. And the next page is Thinking Outside the Box is a workshop that we will be having starting in the beginning of October. It's Cheryl Summers is the artist, and it's a multimedia workshop, and she is a genius at multimedia. She's done work all over the country, and she's here in Northport now and connected with us and would like to do a workshop. So there's some information about that. 2 more workshops are on the next page. The junk journaling I talked about earlier, which is Lenora Gentry. Lenora Gentry actually has a piece of art that's hanging on the Christmas tree at the White House. She has a whole story on that. And she does junk journaling, which is a really fun class. And this is for the general public. And then in the future, she's going to be offering a junk journaling for veterans also. And then underneath that, we have a beginner mosaic class with Joe Wish, September 24th, 11 to 2, includes everything. So if you're interested in mosaics, there's a way to get started. There's the rest of the year of our exhibition schedule. And then the next page is our class schedule for adults. That page, and then the next page. And then after that is our youth classes. So we have Why is Art Important for Children? And we have homeschool programs, a free Saturday class. If anybody out there has children or grandchildren, and every Saturday morning here at the Art Center, we have a community supported program, free Saturdays, that's art instructions. Nothing is no expense to you. Just come, bring your children. We do suggest you come a little early because if it fills up, we only have so many seats. But quarter till should be fine. Quarter till 10. It's 10 to 11:30. If you have not been here before, there's just a registration form to fill out at the beginning, and it's good for the whole year till Memorial Day.
And it's for kids ages 6 and over.
Well, thank you for asking us. So the next page, it talks a little bit about our programs, the Art Center's homeschool program, and then the Youth Pottery program, and then the Southeast Marketing Service. They were one of our advertisers this time. The next page is about the Murder Mystery Fundraiser. The Art Center presents the Charlotte Players starring in Gangster for Hire, Murder is on the Menu, a Roaring Twenties murder mystery fundraiser for Sunday, November 13th at 5 p.m. at the Twisted Fork in Port Charlotte, Florida, emceed by Michelle Moore. And it says, there has been a murder and everyone is a suspect. The true murderer may be sitting at your table. You never know who you will see. Bugsy Siegel or Al Capone. Maybe Pretty Boy Floyd or Babyface Nelson. Single ticket, $85. Couples, $150. Includes dinner. It's going to be a buffet dinner and 2 adult beverages. We have sponsor and donor opportunities. So if anybody out there wants to become part of this, please let us know. And there's an email for Karen Capitosto at AOL.com. And tickets are on sale now on the Northport Art Center website.
And you can come dressed up in character, correct?
Oh, definitely. It's very much encouraged. And I also heard a rumor that there's going to be some 1920s era cars available for photo ops, and a photographer will be there. He'll take pictures right there and have them ready for you. So we'll talk more about all those. Maybe we can have some of those people that are helping make that all happen on the show in the future. So, and then help us help others, advertise in our newsletter, help us get this printed and out into the community.
And I see one of your sponsors is Northport Chiropractic.
Yes,
Chiropractic.
they have a advertisement here in our newsletter. It's a half-page ad, and it's very reasonable. We only ask for a $50 donation to do a half-page ad and $100 for a full-page ad. Quite reasonable in these advertising days. So. And then every month we have an art raffle. We will be drawing the winners for the last art raffle this Friday at the art reception. But this is the new one that's coming up. We have 3 new art pieces only for $1. You can get a ticket, plop it into whichever art piece you want to win. And we do a drawing at the end of every reception. So that should be fun. And we're also asking people if they're interested in becoming involved in the Art Center. We have volunteer opportunities, board member opportunities, and instructor opportunities. And then on the back page is our sponsors. And thank you, Wendy. And there's, if anybody doesn't see him, there he is. Little Pierre sitting there by the Bocalupa.
You gave out the information. She gave out the information. Where it's at.
We had our winner this
Oh, cheater! Oh, you already had your winner, huh?
Yeah, I wouldn't have pointed him out if we didn't. But anybody was still looking.
So, Wendy, what do you think?
Oh, I love it. Now is that the new garden?
They're right. Sure, they're planting the garden. Yes, that's where they're.
Okay, so that's after. Yeah, that they are doing. The People for Trees is having their annual bike ride tour to Northport, October 23rd, and they are seeking sponsors and taking reservations. And that's one of the things I'm sponsoring this year. I am going to be raffling off my 2 tickets for additional donations to them. So I'll be trying to help them raise some more money too. And I'll probably have a booth out there and be available to talk about stuff and whatnot. And I'm volunteering to help at things like stuff the packets and show up for registration and help with all that kind of thing. So, and I can get up I've been at places and volunteered at dark 30 in the morning before.
Oh,
so
my.
Yeah.
What else, Wendy? I know you were talking about different things going on in the community. What else is going on? At least this next week.
Well, I just recently donated to the Northport Area Environmental Coalition. I don't have their name exactly right, but they've been doing some fundraising, and they were successful in raising enough money and getting matching funds to buy some more parcels so that we have some land in the area that is, completely undeveloped and totally natural. They are doing their 2nd annual Myakkahatchee Creek fun run in February on the 23rd. Also, I think that's the date. So they're just now announcing all that information. They had a great response last year. Everybody really loved it. So I'm getting involved with that. So the environmental stuff is important to me. I think that we all need to be good stewards. And the art center and the radio station are pretty much outside of the chamber. That may be about, well, and the chamber I'm involved with a lot of different things, or have in the past. And so there's a lot going on. And we're getting into season, which means that, oh, and the computer. It's a good thing I'm talking to you on my phone instead of the computer, because we just had the storm come through and it knocked off the computer.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, that's okay. It's set, the thing is set to protect the computer, so it shuts it down right away. Instead of letting it stay open, because sometimes these zaps, I don't need to lose the computer equipment.
yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. You know who we need to have on is Jill Luke. She's going to be going off being a city commissioner in November, because elections are coming up and she can't run again. So, and she's one of the people, just like you, Wendy, that knows what's going on in the community. Oh, what
Harlan,
did I
too
do?
much email.
Yes.
I'm on way too many email lists, but I sort it and take care of it. Yeah, I just, as a matter of fact, I'd sent you and Dee Dee and copied Jill, I think, on it, that the War Mineral Springs, Little Salt Springs
Right.
Society needs some help. So if anybody's hearing this and you know how to set up a website so that they can have an online application form and be able to have online payments to their account, we really need to get some help for them, because I would have sent my renewal membership ages ago, but I haven't done it yet, because
Me too. I don't write checks. I don't write checks to get out there. I have stamps. I have a mailbox and stuff, but I know, but it's just so
Okay, I'll
much
do that
easier
later.
to go
Okay, totally.
online.
I've printed out the form probably 12 times this year, every time I get a copy of their newsletter. But it's okay, then I forget it's on the printer and I don't do it. So we really need people, especially in the nonprofit world, because coming up in the fall, don't we have a couple of really important nonprofit fundraising opportunities? Are we doing Giving
Tuesday? Yeah, Giving Tuesday. In fact, I've been invited to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, with a group of people from Giving Tuesday. However, too much has happened in my life, so somebody was going to go in my stead, and they backed out. So I'm just, I'll do what I can. And then I'm looking for somebody to really step up and maybe help take it. But we're a community partner. And what that means is, in the world of Giving Tuesday, we take care of a community or an area. And what we've done in the past, and I would like to spread it a little bit more and really pick a subject. I'd like to do mental health this year. But because so many people, including Wendy, myself, you, Dee Dee, we've all been isolated. Not you, Dee Dee, so much, because you worked all the way through.
Yeah, but my mother has not been out for 3 years.
Yeah. And it wears on you, especially if you're a personality. And you know what? We are done. We only have a few seconds left. So I would like to say to all of everybody that's listening and watching this, I know that it wasn't the most exciting show today, but you know what? It's as exciting as life makes it. So go back to your Netflix or whatever you've been watching. And we can't thank you enough for taking the time out of your busy day to join us here.
My pleasure. I'm glad to do it. I'd like to pop in more often. I just need to know what the schedule is so that I can keep it available on my calendar.
Yes.
We're week by week. We don't know.
I know. We need to work on that a little bit, if we could, please.
Yeah, well, we've tried. We've really tried.
I know.
Yeah.
We've got a whole lot of irons in the fire, so it's not hard to understand.
Yeah.
But thank you all, for both of you, for what all you're doing to keep promoting the arts in the community. It's important.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you for supporting us both.
Absolutely. And it's people like Wendy or any of you out there that do support any of us. And again, shout out to Sherry Dennis for coming in and actually helping rescue us to help get our tower up. And don't forget, Saturday, October 8th, at the Military Heritage Museum's Gulf Theater, and you can go there starting Wednesday to purchase tickets. You can go online and purchase your tickets. We're going to be having a fundraiser, and it's a variety show from comedians all the way to performers to any type of entertainment that you want, except we don't have strippers. Sorry, we're not bringing in strippers. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Too much information.
Yeah, TMI. I can take that off.
right.
This is Marie LaBrosse.
Dee Dee Gozion,
And Wendy,
thank you.
thank you.
See you again next week on Kaleidoscope of the Arts from Northport, Florida. You've been listening to us on the Bishop West Real Estate Mobile Tower. Thank you. See you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.